All right, so what are we doing today? We are going to transfer Repose's current in-ear monitoring system into a new one. A new case, we're going to change up some things. We are basically going to build Repose in-ear monitoring system 2.0. Now it is currently 8:45 in the morning and I am waiting for Chris and Josh to get here to help this process along. But until then, yeah. Now before Chris and Josh get here, let's go over the whys and the whats. First, we're changing cases. This is a much more robust case that is larger and deeper in size. The issue that we were having while touring with this old case is it's extremely compact, but because it's compact, it's very, very narrow in its wheelbase and it will tip on a wind gust. I mean, it is so prone to tipping over and falling over and thusly not protecting the gear that's inside of it. We are changing it out because although its height and its general dimensions are good in a trailer, it's not really practical when moving around on a stage. So in its place, we will be using this 16U case from Circle 3 Designs. Chris over at Circle 3 Designs recommended the 16U because we want a little bit more space for a few different things that you will see later on in this video. So this really is just what we need for the job. Also with this new system, we want to incorporate the drum mics into the in-ear setup so we can actually hear the drum kit, because in some of the larger stages that we play sometimes, can't hear the drums. And so we're left with the trash mic that's underneath Chris's drum throne, and that works okay. That'll get you by, but all of us would kind of prefer to be able to hear the actual drum kit and what's going on. So we're going to incorporate a second Art S8 splitter and get the drum mics going into the in-ear system as well. Lastly, the biggest upgrade that we are doing with this new in-ear system 2.0 is upgrading the actual wireless units. We have been fortunate enough to be able to upgrade to all Sennheiser G4 wireless in-ear systems, as well as incorporating a wireless mic, which is also a Sennheiser G4. Guys, Chris is here! Ready to take apart an old rack, Chris?
Yeah. It's a mess back here.
All empty. Now we have to put together a bunch of rack stuff, like that stuff over there.
The issue we had last time was that the Furman and the X32 rack were so deep, and the wireless in-ear receivers were not very deep. So it was hard to get your hands under there to plug in the XLRs into the back. So we're trying to figure out what the best way to organize those are.
So we're gonna actually put a few together just so we can actually fit them in there and see what we got to work with. One thing I want to quickly point out about the Sennheiser G4 units is how beefy these brackets are. These are like milled aluminum, and the fact that they are combined, you can combine these to make a 1U rack space with a simple plate bolted to the bottom of both units. That is amazing. Usually you have some kind of a weird bracket that barely fits together right here. Sennheiser was like, no, we don't like that. Let's just do a plate and then some really, really heavy duty brackets. Let's do that. That's awesome. Guys, Josh is here. He's right, he's gonna.
Hi guys.
He's gonna help us. Look at my counter, guys. Look at this counter. Oh. Guys, just playing on their phones. So in putting all of this together, we have kind of realized that a single power conditioner is not going to be sufficient when you account for the combiner and the 6 Sennheiser units alone. This is 7, and we'll have a second one, so that's 8. The power conditioner that we have has 8 outputs. So we need to source another power conditioner which I might have upstairs, I don't know. I just wanted to point this out. This is a testament to Sennheiser design. The wall warts are thin enough so they fit very nicely on a power strip. This is small and maybe an insignificant detail, but this is not the case in a lot of other brands' power supplies. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to lay the rack down. We're gonna put a lid underneath it and we're gonna lay it down on its back so we can then move things around without having to hold them up and see if things work. That way, when it's on its back, you can just slide and move everything around without, being too heavy and wearing out your arms. All right, so here's what we decided to do. Since we have all of these power supplies, we're just going to simply, since they're not clocked, one's not bigger than the other, we're just going to put them on the conditioner upside down, like so. So then there is room for the IEC cables on the shorter one to go up to the X32, if that makes sense. So all of the wall warts are gonna be basically mounted upside down on the longer, deeper Furman power conditioner. All right, so here's what we decided to go with. With the X32 right there, we have the combiners. Now these combine the signal of just the in-ear rigs. The 5 in-ear units are combined with the antennas, and then thusly we have just 2 antennas for all 5 rigs. The vocal unit is still its own standalone unit, so it's gonna have its own antenna. Then we have 2 ART S8s, and we have a couple of power conditioners, and then a 3U drawer. And this is what we'll be going with. And now to wire all of this stuff. Sick. Ooh, hey. So we have the combiners wired up, we have the power wired up. Now we are just getting into the XLR stuff, and I would say we're in the last third of the wiring up process. And done. We did wrap the tails nicely though. Good job, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay, so the moment of truth, Chris. We're gonna turn it on for the first time. Are you ready?
Should we do it now?
We should do it now. It hasn't exploded. This is good. It appears to be working. Yeah. You did it.
We did it.
Yay.
Did it.
We have no idea if it passes sound, but that's okay.
Except for that one.
Except for that one.
Oh no. Hey, if that's the worst, that's the worst thing. That's okay.
All right, so here's the signal routing for the in-ear rack. All the channels, all the guitars, bass, drums if we want them, and vocals all come into 16 channels of our splitters here. Basically this just splits the mic channel. We have tails coming off one half that go to front of house. These are all labeled. This is for bass, guitar, vocals. And then the other half of the split goes into our X32. Inside the X32, we have the ability to make all our own custom in-ear mixes. We send those out of the outputs of the X32 and into our individual in-ear units. And all those in-ear units go into our combiners, which have antennas on the back, which help for a wider coverage on stage. And the last thing we have is a wireless mic for Tony, which goes through the splitter and goes to the X32 as well.
And that does it for IEM Rig 2.0. I will link down below in the description for the diagram for this in-ear system, and huge shout out to Sennheiser for being available for us to call with stupid technical questions. They have been wonderful, and we are excited to use the G4 system as well. Fluff out.